Hello, Perch community. This is Amy and Becca coming at you with our very first discipleship.
Yeah, we are so excited. Every month we're going to be answering a question, so make sure you email us. We're going to have a different person who's in girls ministry just asking a question, and we're going to try to answer it and just be a part of the conversation. Discipleship kind of happened in my heart a couple of years ago. I was discipling a group of eighth graders, and we were moving to New York, and they said, "No, you can't leave us. We want to keep discipleship going on." They said, "Let's FaceTime, let's Skype." I said, "We'll discipleship." So we got on our computers every now and then. They'd ask questions, and we kind of chatted up. And so when Beck and I were thinking of ways to not only write but also engage people, this was a no-brainer, right, Beck? So we're excited every month to introduce you to someone that we love, and our first one is our friend Molly. Molly, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Molly, and I am from Alabama originally, but the Lord has moved me out to the great state of Texas. So here I am, loving and living, and I am the girls minister at the Heights Baptist Church in Richardson, which is right outside of Dallas. And I've been here for almost a year now. And I think one of the biggest questions that I continue to wrestle with is, how do I choose which girls to disciple myself? As we're doing this thing.
Very cool. And Molly is fantastic. I'm excited that y'all are getting to know her a little bit today. For discipleship, what I always did is I never picked, right? When I first started out, I picked one or two people, and I think you kind of naturally pick people who you see are leaders or people who you see are always at something, and you just kind of assume. But then when I realized quickly with some of those girls, yeah, absolutely, we'll be there 3 o'clock. It's going to be great. And then, oh, I have cheer, we can't be there, or something would come up. It wasn't a priority to them, and I realized it was because I initiated the relationship, right? Like I realized that my part of initiating a discipleship friendship is prayer. My part is to pray, God, please put on these girls' hearts to not just want to worship you, right, when the air conditioner's nice and cool and it's dark on Sunday morning for an hour, but like, Lord, when it's hard, right, or when they are walking down the halls at school, to think about you. Like, Lord, you start drawing these girls to want to learn from someone, right? Like, give them a teachable posture. Like, give them a heart of a learner, right? Because a disciple, the definition is a learner. And then I really just prayed and prayed, and God started bringing people. It was so cool. And when God had initiated that in their hearts, then the consistency was there because it was already something that they wanted. And it doesn't always sound like, will you disciple me, right? Sometimes it's, hey, I don't know how to read my Bible, and you know how, and can you meet with me a couple of times? Or could you show me how to pray? Or I really am struggling with gossip, and I don't even know a Bible verse or how to find a Bible verse, right? So it sounds different. You just listen for the interest, or you listen for the hunger, and you meet them where they are. So yeah, I didn't pick because I think then you do pick favorites, right? Or you do pick logically what makes sense, but sometimes it's the girl that you least expect that will lead her soccer team to Christ, you know? So make sure it's the Lord, and your part of initiating is to pray. Beck?
Yeah, that is absolutely 100% true. It is so easy, like Amy was saying, to pick those people that you see all the time. And, sometimes the Lord gives you favor with certain people that's awesome for a certain specific season. And then sometimes the Lord kind of brings people that you don't even see coming, who that is the girl who is so hungry and so thirsty for the Lord. And so yeah, absolutely what Amy was saying on just be praying for those people and listening for those little triggers that you hear when they're talking about their relationship with the Lord and what they're struggling with and where they want to grow. And what she was saying is so true. As one of the things that I try to do always when that type of discipleship relationship kind of begins is give the girl a lot of responsibility as far as like planning when that's going to happen and when we can get together. I try to be the one who follows her lead in that, so that she is the one who is leading it. She's the one who's planning, so that I know she's serious and committed to that. Another thing that I think is so important when you're talking to girls and kind of with all of your people, you just speak so highly of this discipleship community that you're a part of, because praise the Lord, He doesn't give us as like girls ministers on His staff this one task of like we have to disciple everyone. So thankful that's not it, because that's exhausting. But really, just thinking about all of the ladies that you have alongside of you, those ladies who the Lord has also given this burden and this disease, girls walk deeper with the Lord. You know, like take advantage of those ladies, and you know, make sure that you are speaking about them, and as you are, you know, they are discipling girls and how they want to, you know, girls pick up on that and girls hear those things, and then that may be a good step for them to follow through on, and finding someone who the Lord's kind of drawing them to for this whole purpose of discipleship.
Yeah. I feel like I need a notebook here, like taking notes. This is all so great.
Be careful. Flattery will get you everywhere.
As you guys were talking, another question came to my mind. But so as you're doing this, as you're discipling girls, and the Lord's brought you girls favor, how do you guard against like playing favorites and just any dissension that might be caused from that relationship?
That's definitely a tough one, and kind of I feel like there's a lot of pressure in that, you know, when you do enter into those kind of like one-on-one deeper relationships with specific girls. One of the things that I try to do is really just balance my time. So especially on those like Sundays or Wednesdays or whenever your people are all together, like making sure that you are giving time to having conversations with every girl in the room, whether there's 10 of them or 200. Surely you can at some point wave at them, give them a smile, go give them a hug really quickly. Just let them know that you see them, let them know that you love them. If you can remember to ask about their Spanish test from Tuesday, that's a huge win. I try to keep a notebook with me on Sundays and Wednesdays to like write down all of the stuff that the girls are talking about and things to be praying for and what they have going on that week. And even just like remembering those tidbits of things just shares so much of your love for them. And they just, you know, feel so valued when you can remember those things and ask about those things. And so, you know, whether it's a 7th grade girl in the corner, the 10th graders owning the room, or like a new 12th grade girl who has just moved into your church, into your city, and knows no one, make sure that you are giving time to them and just spending a moment with them. And I think that just goes so far in letting them know that you don't have one favorite girl and she's the only one that you talk to. And that's because, you know, people do pick up on that if that's what you're doing. So, you know, making sure that you are just spending time talking with everyone, and even going a step farther and, you know, show up at a volleyball game or that football game where that girl is cheering her heart out. Like, let her know that you care about her more than just those moments you see her on like a planned basis. Let her know that you want to be there and encourage her and support her all the time.
Absolutely. I think too with playing favorites, it's all about being above reproach. You know, like Beck said, if you have a discipleship friendship, let's say with 10 or 12 different girls, maybe they're the girls that you wave at, and then you go really pour into some of the other ones because they haven't gotten that special touch from you. And another thing too, I mean, with like Instagram and all that, you know, just be careful to be above reproach on there too. You know, it's so easy to, oh, look at us, like, and all that we're learning, and like, look at my pretty journaled thing, and you just tag the one girl's name, and all the other girls are like, well, I would have like gone to coffee, right? So it's just being above reproach. And truly, I love what Beck said, like praying for them, you know, because when you pray for them, you love them, they feel your love, and when you ask them about it, they know that they're cared for, and they're not going to feel like you're picking favorites. But yeah, just not super publicizing that you've selected a few. I know I never had anyone accuse me of playing favorites. I had two different girls that came up to me above reproach on there too. You know, it's so easy to, oh, look at us, like, and all that we're learning. What's happening?
Sorry, we just froze, guys. I don't know what happened. Started double playing.
Beck, pull it together. We're professionals. We have a domain name.
I'm a terrible techie person. Well,
Godzilla. Well, no, all I was going to say is I had two girls one time pull me to the side and say, what? We didn't know that you met with Bethany. Like, we would meet with you. Like, we would love to be discipled. And I said, oh, my goodness, I didn't know you wanted to be. Absolutely, let's do it. And they ended up not following through. But just, allowing yourself to, absolutely, you want that? That's why I'm here, and not turning someone away and that kind of deal. Yeah. Because, you think of what Jesus did, right? Like, he looked at the crowds, and he was moved with compassion,
Mm-hmm.
And he did have his 12, but he didn't look at the crowds and go, I'm sorry you're hungry. I'm going to go over here and hang out with Peter and John, right? Like, he looked at the crowds. He was moved with compassion. He fed them. He taught them. He loved them. And he loved the 12 also. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think that's a good word for us.
Yeah.
Molly?
Amen.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we are so excited to be doing this every month, and we will figure out what in the world just happened. Or I'll try to make sure that my resting face is a little better so I'm not frozen or something. Anyway.
Yeah, we've so enjoyed hanging out with Molly, of course, and with all of you guys who've joined in. If you have questions more on this topic, or if there's something you're like, oh, this would be so great for the next Diskypleship, make sure and put a post on the blog. Just put a comment down at the bottom and let us know, and we'll get started on looking towards Diskypleship for the month of, will that be June? June, for the month of June, for round 2. This has been awesome. We've loved this. We're excited for next time. We promise we'll get better.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.